Amazing.
podcast, I'm just going to be driving around on the moon.
You're moonwalking?
Driving.
My rover is currently on autopilot, and its course is currently listed at about 20 minutes, and that's only about half the way to my destination. And you can't fast travel when you're driving across the surface.
Let's just take a peek at that. There we go. Now we're all set up. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Church of Chonkwij Podcast. My name is Squitney Houston. I'm joined tonight by Lord Chungus, Masami, and Will and Jada Pinkett Squit.
It is Lord Chungass. Gotta put emphasis
I'm from
on the
America.
ass.
Which basically means...
Yeah, what makes you think he'd pronounce something
That's
correctly?
Right. I'm from America. I pronounce shit however the fuck I want to, and then I claim that it's the right way arbitrarily.
Doc's brain go too fast. Doc's brain go burr.
Me big brain. Big brain. Me have big brain. Me smart.
Very big
Very big
brain.
brain
I
ball.
have very big brain balls. I have very big brain balls.
The sad thing, okay, so the sad thing is that Zero and I really tried to get Leetness onto this podcast tonight. The happy news is that because Leetness isn't on the podcast tonight, he's going to listen to this later and leave a comment. And his comments are always the high point of probably between like 11:40 a.m. and 12:15 p.m. of my Tuesdays.
That's a very, very specific time frame.
Well, he starts masturbating at 11:44,
That's
and he
exactly right.
orgasms at 12:16.
That's what I was thinking.
There you go.
The man,
Oh.
nothing can be said except for the man has.
I mean,
longevity.
I do that. Yeah, I make time for that, but I got schedules.
It's definitely a hands-on experience.
If it's not done in 3 minutes, fuck it, I'm done.
Oh man, I can't remember the last time it was done in 3 minutes.
So she.
Yeah, right. Somebody's just completely unamused by the notion of 3 minutes. Excuse me? What is this? Spain?
I mean, I got shit to do, so that sounds good to me.
That's the whole. I forget what TV show that was, or no, it was a movie actually. So, yeah, like fucking you would probably. Oh my god, you know what it was? It was Now You See Me. It was Woody Harrelson macking on whoever that redhead was. She's just like, yeah, fucking you would probably be the worst decision of my life. And Woody's like, yes, but it wouldn't be time consuming.
Nope.
God damn it.
Yeah, I'm kind of a poor example of the those possessing uteruses because A, my hormones have never been normal. B, I'm older. C, I've been on antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds, which also shoot your sex drive into the shitter. So I have I got shit to do, man.
Depends on the antidepressants. I'm on the fun one that makes you hornier but impossible to come.
Oh shit, that one.
You're on ecstasy?
No, I was on sertraline, which definitely depresses that.
I was also going to mention, Masami, that the plural of uterus is uteri.
Utero great.
Uterotastic.
I'm happy for Latin.
Everybody's.
Sure, it's not Greek. Uterodes.
Isn't that like in Rhode Island somewhere?
Uterate.
Mhm.
That sounds like somebody who can't read.
Filthy deuterate. Yeah, alright, speaking of genitals, no, that's not, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We
that's
always
a segue.
like to start the podcast off with very positive news. So the first article that we cover, of course, is that Razer co-founder and gaming mouse pioneer Robert Kharkov has died.
There's not much to really say about it. I just wanted to throw it out there and just, give the guy, put your F's in chat. Rip. Thanks for all you've done for gaming.
He was actually a fascinating individual. Besides being the co-founder of Razer, He was 81 when he died last week. And it was, let's see, 1999? Actually, no, the Razer Boomslang trailer here is from 2002, but 1999, he got involved with Razer and started making gaming mice, back when gaming mice still used a trackball. So even though optical technology was coming into popularity in the early aughts, the first Razer mouse was a trackball mouse, or it had a ball.
Well,
inside.
I actually remember for a while, like, optical and laser mouses weren't that good yet. Like, for a while, the ball mouses were just better. They were more responsive. They were more accurate.
There's a reason.
Yeah, it took a while for the new technology to catch up, which, it makes sense. That's just the evolution cycle of new technology. You can look at the same thing with everything from phones to, video game consoles to everything. It starts off revolutionary, but, a little clunkier than what already exists. And then you refine it.
The thing is that there is a good reason for optical not being as good yet, besides the technology cycle, is that Razer wasn't technically a company in 2002. It was under a different company's name called Karna. And that company's claim to fame was inventing an optomechanical encoding wheel that could track a mouse's movements at 2000 dpi, and this was using a ball. So the optical couldn't hold a handle to this, or couldn't hold a candle to this brand new optomechanical encoding wheel, and that was what the Razer mice offered, and continued to offer until they started getting into optical and later laser.
I mean, yeah, you're talking 10th gen ball mouse technology versus first gen optical laser tech. So. Yeah. But, I've never even owned any Razer products, but I definitely have owned plenty of products that were certainly inspired and grew out of the inventions that he and his company pioneered. So it definitely deserves the respect of the entire gaming world.
Besides being a co-founder of Razer, he also played for the Los Angeles Rams for 5 years in the 1960s. He was an avid fitness and nutrition enthusiast, hobbyist, who went on to make, I believe he had a company that did dietary supplements and energy drinks for a while. And
G Fuel, gamer energy.
Something akin to that. He was also a writer. He wrote black comedy. He wrote a lot, including black comedies and sci-fi fantasies. And he was an accomplished author. He published. And he's survived by grandchildren. He's survived by, obviously, what we know him for as being co-founder of Razer. But yeah, he did a lot of stuff. And good lord, when Razer started, he was in his late 50s. He was 81 this year. That means in the aughts. Yeah, he was 69. Nice.
I'll be right back.
Yep. So, accomplished dude. Rip F. That's that's the gaming culture that he helped to establish. He would be proud that everybody is pressing F on their keyboard right now.
And maybe even pressing F on their Razer keyboard.
Yeah, that's right. On their RGB Razer keyboard.
Hey, RGB make computer go burr.
It's true. RGB makes everything go faster.
Minus my desktop. But that's just because, as we've previously stated,
yeah,
my office is an interdimensional portal.
Yeah, you don't so much have a digital. You don't so much have a computer as you have some sort of device that was created by a sadistic wizard.
Yes.
Thereby defying all laws of common technology. Oh yeah. Wait, hold up.
So I got into a bit of a debate today. It was quite fun.
It's on
Was it a master
autopilot.
debate?
Yeah.
No, it was not.
Okay, Zero, yeah.
I am not a master debater.
That's me.
Trust me.
I'm the only one with that title here.
Yes, but somebody brought up the student loan forgiveness thing, and my brain just shut off.
Well, that's not a debate.
And no. I literally just took the person off, threw every talking point at them that I could possibly throw at them, just for shits and giggles. All of them being opposing views to what they held, just to kind of make them understand why things are probably not going to, why student loans are probably not going to get forgiven.
Oh, they're not. The loan forgiveness that's being discussed right now is up to $10,000, and it's $10,000 because that can be done with an executive order and it doesn't have to go through anybody. And the reason that they would be delaying that and they wouldn't be signing it, or Biden would be delaying it and Biden wouldn't be signing it until later this year, is so that he could get a little bit of a push before the midterms. So yeah, that makes sense. I understand the politics behind it. I understand why it's progressing the way that it is. I think it should be more than $10,000, but I'm not going to complain. It's $10,000 of my student loan gone. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
See, my whole the issue that has been brought to me by everybody in my family, like folks like myself and my father who went straight into the workforce, are inevitably paying for those loans when that money turns around and turns into extra added taxes at the end of the year. I am all for no taxes, though. God, please just let that fucking happen.
All right. I'm back.
You're still driving on the moon.
Yep. Yeah, autopilot's great.
It just keeps going and going and going.
But yeah.
Came back and heard Zero ranting about no taxes.
Zero.
Well, it started with it started with
Student loans.
me throwing every right-wing talking point at somebody who wanted student loan debt forgiven in its entirety.
For shits and giggles, he said.
For shits and giggles. Yes, for shits and giggles, because I'm not that person.
Thank you.
Look, my sister is so far in debt because of student loans. I think it's a predatory system. I don't think the government should be profiting off of its citizens the way that it does when it comes to student loans.
It's capitalism,
because
man.
The government runs
capitalism.
That bullshit.
Fair is fair.
No, the government doesn't profit off
the interest.
of it. The government subsidizes the public sector, which profits off of it.
Correct.
I'm actually not clear on. I'm fairly certain that I'm paying the state of Massachusetts for my student loans.
Your loans are backed by the government, but they are serviced by a private company.
It's the servicers that are making the buku bucks.
Yes. So basically, like, you take out the loan, and that loan is guaranteed by the government. You know, that's the subsidy, basically. So, a public loan or a federal loan or whatnot is a loan with a private company that has a deal with the government. So it's that company that's making all the money, not the government.
Yep.
And speaking of large companies making profit, this is a great roll-in. Besides my clumsy segue, Amazon's Twitch ceased to revamp creator pay with focus on profit. Bloomberg broke this article on April 27th. And I can apparently only get the first 2 paragraphs for free, so I found another article, not that one, this one, where, it just basically goes over how Twitch is revamping their subscription service and their subscriber tiers, and it's looking like... Okay, so before this even kicks off, it's worth mentioning that Twitch already restructured a couple months ago with regards to the people who were getting subs on their channels. Twitch started encouraging people to run more ads on all their videos as they were running. That happened 2 months ago. Now, there is unofficial insider talk within Twitch. These sources reported to Bloomberg that Twitch is thinking about an additional restructuring, or restructuring even on top of that, where I guess right now, if you sub to a channel, the streamer gets 70%, Twitch gets 30%. Under the new system, Twitch and the streamer would each get 50%. So that's a pay cut for the streamer. And depending on how many subscribers, how many views the streamer has, they would be classified into a tier. And depending on which tier they were in, they would be monetarily motivated, basically, to push more ads onto their non-subscribers, which makes Twitch more money, not the streamer. This all...
Oh, no. The streamer does make money off of ads. It's like pennies on the dollar, but the streamer does make
Okay, so
money.
the streamer is technically getting money from ads, even if the technically part is a couple single-digit percents. This all may sound like a bag of horse shit, but it turns out that to compensate for this, again, unofficially, Twitch is considering allowing its streamers to go live simultaneously on competing platforms, which is something you are not allowed to do if you are a partnered streamer right now on Twitch. You are not allowed to broadcast in two places at once. It's Twitch or nothing.
Yeah, it's Nerf or nothing, bitches.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't get cute little, like, plastic handguns, so
Yeah,
lame.
I agree.
Well, again, this whole thing, I saw this kind of shit coming down the pipe anyway, which is kind of why I'm glad that I got the fuck out when I did, and I'm not doing it anymore. My sister has asked me numerous times, hey, do you want to come out, or do you want to jump on stream and co-stream with me? Nope. I want nothing to do with streaming at this point. I am done. It was turning my hobby into a job, and I told myself that if I ever started feeling like that I was shutting it down.
Also, you weren't streaming your feet. You should have been streaming your feet. You made a lot of money.
We go over this every single time.
So no lie, on TikTok, and I probably mentioned this before, like, part of my TikTok feed is like side hustle talk.
Videos.
And no joke, there are women on there who are like, I have made so much money from selling pictures of my feet. You should go and do this now.
I'm telling you, man, it's a great idea.
I'm seriously telling you that if I was to take this camera and put it on my feet right now, you would vomit uncontrollably.
Some people
It
do
would
that.
happen.
I mean, there's people who probably pay for that experience, you realize.
Well, look, more power to them, but I'm not going to facilitate that.
That's fair.
We didn't even talk about how we had a podcast yesterday. It's fucking fantastic. It was
how was that, by the way?
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, I got several messages that you were deep in it.
That was, yeah, yesterday was the first time in a long time. See, here's the thing that was great. Yesterday was going to be the first day that I had in, I don't know, over a month actually, that I had to do like some light day drinking, which of course turned very quickly into heavy day drinking.
As it does.
I did not know that Leetness was going to get home on Sunday. Had no idea. So that was just sort of a happy thing. I was like 3 hours into day drinking, and all of a sudden the Leetness comes home, and he's talking on to his, so it was fucking great. And then Frelly hopped on too.
You guys have a good time.
We had it was a room full of people with strange accents, and then Zero showed up. See, Zero, you don't have a strange accent.
I beg to differ, good sir.
Yeah,
but
you
thank
good
you.
accent.
It's just a southern one. It's okay.
Apart from that, yeah.
It's only strange to us because we're north of the Mason-Dixon line.
Truth.
All right, so yeah.
I just think it's weird that you guys don't have sweet tea. Shit bothers me a little bit.
Sweet tea is everywhere. What do you mean?
I prefer unsweetened tea, but I'm a heathen.
Yeah,
So.
I drink black tea, like unsweetened black iced tea, because, I don't want to drink sugar water and have the,
Correct.
excuse to call it tea. and you just use that as a bad excuse.
Yep.
But yeah, what's actually funny is I just saw an article yesterday that a big thing on TikTok right now is fast food workers who share like the quote unquote dirty secrets of fast food or whatever. And apparently, one of them they were talking about was sweet tea, which for every gallon of sweet tea, they add a full pound of sugar.
Holy
Good
fuck. Okay, see, that's too much. I do 2 cups tops per gallon. And
That's a lot of fucking
Do
sugar.
you know how much a pound
okay,
is?
but here's the thing.
I'm gonna look this up.
So, okay, let me explain. This was what I got used to growing up.
I mean, that's
And-
fair, but still.
Okay. It
1
is
pound
not-
of granulated sugar contains approximately 2 cups.
Talk
So
more.
there you go, Zero.
No.
Yeah.
That's not.
That is absolutely
not
accurate. Omega got
accurate.
that statistic.
That's literally what Google
Omega
says.
got that statistic directly from sports.yahoo.com.
If we need to do this for science, I got a bag
Pulled-
of sugar, and I think I have
Pulled
at
July
least 2
21st,
cups.
2016. There is no reason to doubt this because BHG says the same thing. Calculator site says the same thing. InCalculator says the same thing. Kitchenary says the same thing.
Okay, so let me show you currently what I'm drinking. Water. And the reason why I'm drinking water is because I'm trying to
Or
be
zero cam.
healthier. I have had one bottle of soda today.
I'm
One.
so proud of you.
That was this morning with my
Now,
breakfast.
How big was the bottle?
It was a 2-liter.
Hang on.
One of
It
those
was a
fucking
2-liter.
Costco 3
That would be
liters.
great.
Because, like, you've got a bottle that's like 20 ounces. You
One of
got
these,
bottles that are
16
liter.
Yeah, the 16.9 ounce.
Okay, I'm proud of you because if a bottle meant 2 liters, I was gonna shame you.
Admonish.
Shun.
This
Shun.
is my 4th glass of water today.
Good.
My bladder is fucking floating at this point, and
You get used to it.
my kidneys are wondering exactly what the fuck they did wrong.
No, they're wondering why they don't have to work so hard.
Hey, Kirby's in chat. How you doing, Kirby?
Hey, Kirby.
Hi, Kirby. It is our furry friend, Kirby.
So the long and the short of it is that, yeah, 2 cups of sugar is definitely a pound. And
Well, so this is why later in my life I cut it down to 1.5 cups. So I knocked
By
a
later in
quarter of a
life, do you
pound
mean
off.
from right now onwards?
Which
And
counts.
you've learned that you've been dumping a fucking pound of sugar into your sweet tea? And you
I
have
haven't-
It is
diabetes?
technically
I have
true.
not- okay, in my defense, I have not made sweet tea at home in
Oh, God.
probably 4 years.
Just get it
Now,
at McDonald's.
with that being said, I have purchased sweet tea from Bojangles, and
Bojangles? Good lord.
Jesus
fuck
Christ.
off. It
Jesus
is
Christ, she's
delicious.
from the South.
Yes,
I mean,
yes, I said Bojangles. Fuck off.
Like, this isn't
it
a
is-
secret. Sweet tea is not sweetened iced tea.
No, it's
Sweet tea is its own sugar water abomination of just the worst.
but we have it.
proportions.
We also have it up here.
Oh yeah, it used to be a southern thing, but so did obesity. But now it's just America. It's
So
just
did
across
Wilford
America.
Brimley's popularity. He used to be exclusively south of Mason-Dixon, and then Steven Spielberg started putting him in a whole bunch of stuff. All of a sudden, we fucking love him.
Look, the man was a national treasure. The fact that he died depresses me greatly.
Oh, man. So, yeah.
And yes, make all the jokes you want.
No.
I mean,
Yeah, go ahead, Masami. That's... Yeah, that's...
no, I had nothing productive to say there.
No, me neither. Whoa, Wilford Brimley. There is one new article here that's There's one new article that I didn't actually go over. This is the only article that I didn't go over. And Steam stats show just how much of a player nosedive Cyberpunk 2077 has taken.
Yeah, this is a late ad. I just saw it before the podcast, and I mean, I just figured we'd throw it out there just because, it's got some numbers on it.
Yeah.
But, all the work that Cyberpunk has been doing to fix its issues and whatnot, the player base is, I mean, they good over the last few days, according to the article, their peak was just under 20K in a 24-hour, their 24-hour peak for concurrent users was, I think, 19,000 something, which, I mean, it's not nothing, but after launch, they had over 1 million, and just nobody's playing that game anymore.
Well, it doesn't help that they increased a lot of the stuff, so anyone who was playing it on a machine barely worth a damn, kind of like Cousins, got basically punched in the face by the last patch. So,
that's
and the
true.
fact that it's a finite campaign, it's like there's not like you get to a point where you can complete everything, and literally the only thing left to do is another playthrough.
The thing that is hilarious to me is that now I'm reading these numbers. These are the same fucking numbers as New World had. At launch, New World had over 1 million simultaneous peak, over 1 million simultaneous players, 24 hours. And these days, it's down to about 20K, 24-hour peak. And everybody's on the New World forums and on the Steam forums for New World saying, this game's not dead. The fuck you guys talking about? It's more alive than ever. The player base is so fucking dedicated. I know the main difference between New World and Cyberpunk 2077 is that New World is an MMO, and Cyberpunk is not. But still, those are depressing numbers. Over 1 million, down to 20K. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Sucks for CDPR.
Well, with a game like New World 2, the people who are saying, oh, the community's still here, it's as good as ever. It's like, no, the only people who are left are the people who are dumb enough to spend a ton of money up front, so they're just still playing it just so they can avoid the sunk cost.
They feel badly that they put that much money towards the Amazon shop, or whatever the fuck they're calling it, a New World, which is a joke.
It's worse for that one, because that's like an open world sort of thing. There's like perpetually shit to do, unlike Cyberpunk,
Right.
which is a very like RPG finite story game. So it's even more depressing for New World, really.
Right.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Like the only thing that's going to get Cyberpunk's numbers up is, expansion, extra content, that sort of thing. Because that'll get people turning their saves back on and going, okay, what else
Figure out how multiplayer and co-op work.
Speaking of expansion, there is a Cyberpunk expansion in the works. The article touches on that. And it did say that like the player numbers went up after the recent update, but the numbers didn't last. So Cyberpunk seems to be in a place right now where they're going to release new content. Players are going to come back, check it out, and then that'll be probably the end of it.
Yeah, so the 1.5 patch that was previous to this year saw a 113% leap in player numbers. This was back in February. Now that number has returned. It's pretty much found its level, and it keeps on returning to about 20K. And the DLC, the expansion pack rather, for Cyberpunk is due out next year. And the developer has, quote, shown willing by making significant changes that have helped make it much more enjoyable of an experience. But yeah, it is kind of a shame that it had such a lackluster launch. Actually, I shouldn't say that. It didn't have a lackluster launch. It had a fucking brilliant launch. The memes that came out of that, the blooper reels that got posted all over Reddit, all the shit that got just spread all around because everything that was broken in Cyberpunk was fucking brilliant. But the fact that you couldn't actually play the game was detrimental to the game. And, yeah.
A bit.
It's a bold statement, but
I like going out on limbs.
You like branching out?
The myriad things wrong with the game certainly were not good for the game.
Yeah, Masami, let's not start barking at each other.
Do you think we should get to the root of the problem?
Yeah, you guys need to spruce up these puns, okay?
I'm going to kill myself.
Well, luckily we've got Adjust the Tree for that.
Oh.
You didn't think I'd go there, but I did.
I did not think you'd go there, and now I'm sad.
Well, now your expectations are set appropriately.
Yes, they are.
Jesus Christ. Fucking terrible. Yeah, Masami, how do you like your new bot command?
I fucking love it. I was gonna ask you actually, is that whole Python script self-contained, or can I get you ones to add in to pad the whatever database it's pulling from?
That is a module that I found, and it pulls from a website that has the daily updates with dad jokes.
Okay, cool.
Wonderful.
So
great.
Fantastic.
We're so happy for it.
Can you give me the website to see if I can submit new ones?
Yeah, sure.
You knew that was coming. You knew it.
No, I'll definitely look into that.
Doc, I will give you a shiny nickel if you don't.
Zero, you know that the only currency I work in is blowjobs.
Yeah, well, I guess.
Or your feet.
Pulls out spoon. Well,
why
Rusty,
are you pretending like you're bothered, Zero? You're the second worst offender.
I am.
Like, I'm the one who hates the dad jokes. Like, stop taking my bit.
No, it's not the dad jokes that I hate. It's Masami's dad jokes that I hate.
Send us pictures of your feet, and I'll sabotage Masami's dad joke bot.
I couldn't do that to Masami. It brings her joy, and I can't steal.
It's true. I wasn't going to do it anyway. Masami, that's yours forever.
Yeah.
I just wanted pictures of his feet.
You bastard.
Oh god, yeah, the feet meme is
God.
just, that's gonna be persistent. It's like Squid. It's gonna persist for fucking ever. Or until Fluffy and I come up with some new retardation to throw around our site. Okay, so I had something. I mean, I can talk about this because it's fascinating to me, so I'll just do it quickly, because probably nobody else gives a shit. I follow copyright news an awful lot, and there is an organization called the Entertainment Software Association, the ESA, which represents, among other agencies, Activision, Epic, and Ubisoft, and Nintendo, and EA. And the ESA's thing is just looking for people who are infringing on copyright, filing lawsuits against them, and all the rest of this. And they last week announced that they are taking a renewed interest in several major pirate sites that are all focused on large-scale distribution of pirated video games. And the ESA wants to identify and track site owners and copyright infringers who download this stuff. This, in and of itself, isn't terribly surprising. They do this a lot. And they're just like, yeah, we're still around. Remember us? You should still be afraid, blah, 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 rabble, 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 rabble. The reason this is interesting is because of another article that Torrent Freak put out, which focuses on a U.S. court ordering every ISP in the United States to block illegal streaming sites. The reason that this is surprising is because the MPA, the RIAA, the ESA, all these copyright agencies have, in the past, thrown their weight behind bills like SOPA, which was legislation on the federal level that would have required ISPs to block pirate sites. So despite the fact that they've been trying to push federal legislation through for years, probably over a decade now, one court proved that the justice system is capable of doing that. It has been capable of doing that all along. There's no way this stands. This will get appealed. There's no way this... It will be appealed, for sure, because it was, I believe, the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. and it was for 3 separate lawsuits against 3 separate sites. The plaintiffs won all 3 of these. Each plaintiff was awarded $7.6 million in statutory damages, and the permanent injunction was filed for ISPs to block the sites in question. So yes, this will be appealed. However, first time this has ever happened, first time this is appealing, and there are some very powerful lobbyists behind preserving this kind of decision, especially when it comes to video game piracy.
Do they eat a lot of bananas? Is that why it was appealing?
Oh, oh yeah, that's good stuff.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help but slip on that one.
Totally fine. So anyway, that was something that I was watching.
I see what you did there.
Yeah,
I see what you
there
did
you
there.
go. Anyway, so yeah,
Oh, let's continue monkeying
Thank you.
around.
God, you're really ramming these puns in our ass. Sorry, that's what you do with bananas, right? That's banana
Yeah.
related, right?
I mean, if you don't have anything better, you might as well.
Bananas are too soft.
well, you can't peel them first. Is that a thing? Is that like a sex thing where you put half the
You need to use a
put half the
plantain.
banana? Okay, so you take a full-size banana and you put half of it in your ass, and then you peel the half that's not inside the ass, and it makes like a flower.
Well, no, then you squeeze your butt cheeks really hard, and it shoots the banana out.
Mm-hmm.
Masami just goes, mm-hmm, like she's done this
Oh.
before.
I mean, it's physics, really,
It's
at this
just
point.
math.
Like,
fucking love that Ron Burgundy reference. It's science. I believe it. I'd want to see it, possibly in slow motion.
You got to go to either Tijuana or Thailand.
You fucking kidding me? I can't put that on like a request board on 4chan. Somebody's got to have a video of that.
I mean, if you wanted to see like an ugly, fat, hairy dude do it,
I'm
sure.
not picky. Zero, get a banana.
Okay, well then there you go.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. That was out of line. You're not a fat, hairy, disgusting dude.
nobody might have a banana and might
You're
be
just the
willing to
most
do
likely
it.
person to have a banana. Also, you won't show me your feet.
Actually, I do not, because bananas are the worst fruit for diabetics, so they are not allowed in the house.
Was it fucking potassium's gonna kill you?
Oh yeah, but sweet tea. Let's go ahead and make a gallon of that
How many
shit.
bags of sugar do you have? Yeah.
Yeah. How many pounds of
How
sugar
many-
in a banana?
At least 50.
I don't know, but so
Is that why it feels
But-
good up the ass?
again, I don't make sweet tea myself anymore, and I've actually stopped buying it from Bojangles.
What is
So-
okay? So that's a set. I know what Bojangles is with reference to, who was it? Shirley Temple, or whoever the fuck. Doesn't even matter. What is Bojangles when you're talking about? What is it?
It is a Cajun. Okay, think Popeyes.
Okay, so it's shitty.
It's the southern version of Popeyes. No. It's better than Popeyes. It's way better than Popeyes. But
I don't know. Popeyes is pretty good.
I've only ever been to Popeyes once, and that was when I was driving to Florida, and I was not impressed with Popeyes. They're chicken.
Yeah, you need to get you
Just
some
the chicken.
Bojangles.
I grew up on KFC and then came to the city, and there's a bunch of Popeyes here and KFCs, and I've had the two. Not direct blind comparison, but I've had the two in close enough succession that I'm pretty confident in my new opinion that. So I think if you're going for fried chicken, I would prefer KFC. If you're going for like anything else, like chicken sandwich, I go to Popeyes. Popeyes chicken sandwiches are pretty fucking awesome.
Chick-fil-A.
Nah, fuck Chick-fil-A. Waffle fries are for bitches.
I don't go there for the waffle fries. Oh,
Yeah,
my
waffle
friend.
fries?
It doesnesn't matter. Like,
Yes.
they're awful. Like, yeah, let's get some soggy, gross, not crispy fries. Yeah, awesome. Like, their chicken sandwiches are like, they're not bad, but they're not great.
Oh, but the
And-
nuggies, dude. It's all about the nuggies.
I'm not 4 years old.
I prefer my nuggies from McDonald's or from Tyson, shaped like dinosaurs. So anyway, the more important
Yes. Dinosaur nuggies, that's a different story. If Chick-fil-A sold dinosaur nuggies, I'd be all over it.
Is Tyson still?
And the smiley face hash browns, that's the
Oh
real
no, it wasn't
jam.
Tyson.
That's the potato you don't see anymore.
What is it?
Smiley face hash browns.
The smiley face hash browns?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's some OG hash browns.
Yeah, those and the dinosaur chicken nuggets. That's the meal of
It's
champions.
fucking great. And okay, so I haven't I haven't actually had fast food for a very long time. That's not true. I had McDonald's a little while ago, but I went for 2 years without fast food because COVID and all the rest of that, and I just didn't miss it after a couple months. But before COVID, I believe I came to the conclusion that KFC is going way downhill. Their chicken is not as good anymore. Something about their food is just not the way that it was when it was like 10 years ago even.
Where's the Colonel?
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Oh, I tell you, he did.
What's wrong with you? I say he did. I'm standing there at the counter trying to figure out why the fucking extra crispy chicken is just bad. I mean, it's not even like it tastes bad. It tastes wrong.
The last time the wife and I went, the crispy level was perfect. Like it was nice and juicy. The exterior, the skin was nice and crispy.
Stop telling us about your wife and tell us about the chicken.
Oh,
No.
Oh. Are you still on speaker?
Oh, want to cross the bow? No,
Oh, God
I'm
damn it.
not. Podcast, I put headphones on, plus my door to my office is shut.
It's like he knows us or something.
He was on.
Yeah. It's like after yesterday, I'm never opening
Yeah,
my
his door was
again.
open. We were on speaker the other day. I had a lovely conversation with his wife. It was absolutely one-sided. Me trying to tell her that she's lovely and Zero being like, eh.
And I will say this. My wife is very, very much happy that I have friends that keep me from doing stupid shit or talk me into doing stupid shit. Just depends on the day.
Have you been telling her the truth about us?
Okay, guys, I'm trying to.
Oh, he's talking about us. He said,
Yeah.
That's not right. We started off this podcast by me trying to get you soliciting pictures of your feet.
You know what? If you want them that bad,
Do it!
I'm gonna try to do this and not hurt myself.
That's right. You can tilt back in the chair. That's cool.
the hurting himself costs extra.
Yeah, the hurting myself
God damn
costs
it.
extra.
Okay, there's little piggy. I see it. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that foot. That's nice.
Oh, but you haven't
That's
seen
teaser.
the heel.
That's a teaser, is what that is. Additional foot available
For $5.99.
only on OnlyFans.
Oh.
God damn. All right, speaking of poor decision making, Microsoft is now practically begging you to stop using Internet Explorer. This is actually kind of hilarious because Internet Explorer was slated, and Microsoft announced this, if not last year, then the year before that Internet Explorer is coming to end of life, and they're going to stop supporting it this year. And apparently there are a whole bunch of companies out there that just haven't bothered switching over, and they have Internet Explorer as the default browser on all their corporate computers, and that just fucking blows my mind to begin with. So yeah, June 15th this year, the legacy IE browser is being retired.
So I found this on Reddit, and in the comments there was actually some really interesting stuff people were talking about, that it's not just like, oh, this silly company is still using, Internet Explorer. It's more like there's a ton of, specifically in the industries of healthcare and insurance, a lot of proprietary software and internal databases and stuff like that was all written in like 2004 and runs on IE, and oftentimes like IE6 or IE3, And like people in there are talking, like there are IT guys who worked at hospitals who are like, yeah, we have to set up systems where like you have a virtual machine running like IT, like IE6 connected to like this database that's running an emulated version of this that's like able to still maintain this 12-year-old software, and none of the hospitals are willing to pay the money to modernize it because it still works, and to actually change it would be a huge amount of downtime and inconvenience, which would seriously throw their shit in up in like all over the place into a mess. So it's a little bit more interesting than it is on its surface of just like, haha, these people are using old software. It's like there's actually whole infrastructures built that will only work on this old shit that is getting phased out.
Now, it is worth mentioning that the brand new Microsoft Edge browser, which is now coming standard packaged with, it came standard with Windows 10, it's coming standard with all Windows 11. There is an Internet Explorer compatibility module built into Edge, so you can turn that on and you can access web pages that are specifically designed to be accessed with Internet Explorer. But not all.
People were talking about that, but that's only like the latest version of IE. That's like it's like IE 11 compatibility. But people were saying like, hospitals today are running on just like software that's only running on IE6, IE3, IE4, and obviously there's a huge amount of security issues with that, but the thought is as long as it's an internal network that isn't actually connected to the outside internet, it should be okay. But I was really just sketched out to learn that like so much important data is being maintained on systems that are so old that they are literally becoming obsolete in the sense that like not just like they've been supplanted by newer technology, but like they literally are going the way of the dodo. Like it won't exist anymore. But that's what all these old hospitals, old infrastructures are built on.
Right. The example that I like to use for this is for Langley in Virginia. The headquarters of the Central Intelligence Agency here. If you go to Langley, you will be subjected to an intense amount of security getting through the gate, getting through the lobby, all the rest of that. Getting in there is really, really something. Security rivaling pretty much everywhere else in the country. But once you are inside, the complex is so large, and there is so much in there, that it is not practical for them to have such an intense security net. So that's basically what a hospital is doing. They want their outward-facing structure, they want the beefiest firewall that they can possibly get. They want the best security for all data passing in and out of their network, right at that border. But once you're inside, yeah, there's a lot of antiquated technology that hasn't been updated because there really isn't much need to beyond security, and they figure they've got that handled. And most of the time they do. But yeah, backwards compatibility for all versions of Internet Explorer on Edge is still in the process. So this is going to become a more serious problem than it already is on June 15th. And Microsoft is working on it, TM. So yeah, good times. Nice one anyway. Alright, and the last article is wicked fucking cool. So you could fit the data of 25 million 1 terabyte SSDs onto this 5 centimeter diamond wafer. It's only a wafer thin. And the reason that this works is because diamonds have something called nitrogen vacancy, which can be used to store qubits. Because it is a transfer of electron valences. Constantly, there are 3 electrons in carbon-12/carbon-14 that are transferring between valences, and they photoluminesce and that can be used to store quantum information. And this Japanese company found out a way to grow diamonds up to 55 millimeters, which is a huge fucking deal. Because artificial diamonds, manufacturing of diamonds up to this point on a commercial basis has usually only gone up to about 4 millimeter square in size. And now we can do 55 millimeter, which are, it's a fucking leap forward in and of itself. But yeah, we've figured out how to make a computer out of a diamond. Or we've figured out how to make a hard drive out of diamonds. And they are quantum hard drives.
It's worth noting that these are like this. It's not like one day we're going to have diamond hard drives in our computer. These are read only. The data is actually stored in production. So like the process for turning diamond into data storage is actually what imprints the data itself into the data storage matrix. So it's not, we're not going to be getting diamond hard drives in our gaming desktops anytime soon. But, cool technology is cool.
Hey, there's
It'll
hope for it to contain all of your porn collection on one single thing, Doc.
The other thing is, if it's made of diamond, does it ever need to be backed up? Because it's not going to degrade, like most of our hard drive technology right now. So yeah, no, that would be ideal. 25 million terabytes? Yeah, no, that might actually do it.
You'd have that shit filled up in about 3 days.
Oh, jeez, just imagine. I'm imagining the device that it would take to read all of those hard drives and then grow a diamond with that information.
Well, what the hilarious thought to me is that, so obviously this is going to be some sort or some degree of proprietary technology. So early on in its usage, there will be the company that does it, and you will need to send them your data and have them put it onto a diamond wafer. So I'm just waiting for the day that they get a fucking FedEx truck just filled with hard drives of porn. Please put this onto a
That's
diamond
right.
for us.
Jesus fucking Christ, can you imagine the shipping costs I'm going to have to pay? One way, thankfully. When they're done with it, they can have all those hard drives. I don't want them back. They can just fucking have them. I should probably burn them. Because there's a lot of gross shit all over them. That's a semen joke.
I don't know. It sounded like it was at about at half mast.
No.
Yeah.
That was a penis joke.
And a semen joke.
It's a little sticky.
Oh, gosh.
I thought it sailed pretty well.
That.
This is horrible.
I had a good night last night. So, y'all are just getting hammered mercilessly tonight.
Hope you did. Yeah, I hope you had a lovely evening off. And then, next week we have D&D?
Yes, we do. I believe. Let me check. I made an event. I should have. Anyways.
Probably.
I will.
The 8th.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't
It's
make
Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We talked about this. Okay.
Yep.
Well, good times. The only other website that I have pulled up is a scientific paper on nitrogen vacancy, because I was trying to understand electron transfer and how that works inside of a diamond. I didn't realize that's how, yeah, well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Oh, well, so, yep, still driving on the moon.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm going downhill.
What's your point of destination?
New biomes where I can do science. Oh no, I'm turning sideways. That's not good.
That's fine, you're just doing a little drift, a little moon drifting.
Yep, I got a full suite of scientific equipment on this rover, and so I'm just going from biome to biome on the moon to get science.
As you do. God, everyone's so fucking happy. Is that Val?
Yeah,
She's having a
she's
great
driving.
time.
And can't blame her.
All right, that's about it.
How's Jeb doing?
Jeb's at home. He's relaxing after a mission.
Jeb's at home on the shine.
It's... didn't you get a science update from Jeb on the shitter the other day?
What was the consistency?
Good old Jeb.
I forgot which. I think it was an EVA report from the toilet.
Okay. Oh, but for number 1 or number 2 or both?
I'm not sure. It was scant on
He's got to
details.
get better on those reports, man.
Yeah.
Also, Zero, yeah, I saw The Batman. It was not bad. I was impressed that they actually did do a movie focused around an investigation.
It was focused around the investigation. It was around. It was simply done. It was the villain's backstory. It wasn't Batman's backstory, and that's what I liked about it. We haven't gotten a proper villain backstory. It's always been this campy, oh, they became this way because of this, that, and the other thing. This was, Oswald Cobblepot, becomes who he is because of everything that happens in that movie. He becomes the Penguin because of everything in that movie. And I've watched the behind the scenes stuff. If you get a chance to watch that,
It's just a
do it.
rehash of the old Batman. We already got Penguin's entire backstory.
You got that version. This is year 1 Batman. This is a different timeline.
Okay, so Zero, you can.
Oh fuck it.
Yeah, you can say that this is like it does because it definitely does have like the development of Penguin's character spread across I think a total of like 3 scenes, but it seems like it's incidental to the plot. Like the last time that we see Cobblepot is when they're figuring out such and such step of an investigation, all the rest of that. So yeah, that's definitely in there, but it is still very much an exploration of Batman and so it is still very much an explanation of Bruce Wayne and how his life, his family, and all the rest of that ties into what's happening in the larger storyline without getting to spoilers or anything like that.
Yeah. And the route that they went with that, actually, I have read all of the year 1 comics. I've read them all front to back, and the year 1 that particular angle for his parents was not year 1. That was alternate Earth, and I was like, okay, so they're crossing the alternate Earth with year 1, which is great because the two work together so well in the storyline.
Okay.
DC's multiverse is one of those things that's very, very tricky, because there have been so many retcons and going back in, completely erasing the entire history of DC and then bringing it all back. They've done that 4 times now. See, Marvel doesn't do that. Marvel creates a multiverse and then lets Doctor Strange fuck it up. Or creates a multiverse and has the X-Men or the Avengers fix it. Or lets Deadpool fix it by fucking it up. It's whereas DC, they destroy an entire universe and then just rebuild a new one from scratch.
Well, from a storytelling perspective, that's kind of a more interesting. Well, it leads you more places, so you can do more with it when you're not concerned about, okay, how are we going to fix this later? So from a creative standpoint, I can appreciate that. Well, what I was going to say is, like, it's great that you've read this stuff. It was great that you enjoy the movies from that perspective, where you have like this background in comics and all the rest of that. I don't. I don't care about any of the comics. I don't care about anything that this is based on. I'm not going to do a fucking reading assignment. That's why I didn't begrudge Dune too much when it came out, for like neglecting or leaving entire pieces of the book out while they were making that movie. You shouldn't have to read the book in order to appreciate the movie. I shouldn't have to read the comics in order to appreciate the Batman. So I appreciate the Batman for the detective story that it was, and for the... honestly, the fact that it was story-rich enough, it probably should have been a miniseries on HBO. It was a 3-hour-long movie, which wasn't terribly too much for me. I'm not really frightened of longer movies, as long as there's an engaging storyline that's tearing it through. It didn't feel like it was dragging or anything, so they put a lot in there, and I didn't have to know anything about anything to understand that this is a detective story, and they're gonna go and they're gonna figure stuff out. And it wasn't terribly difficult to figure out, but I appreciate that they made a different Batman movie, if for nothing else, just purely based on the execution of the story. Yeah.
And honestly, I was very apprehensive about Robert Pattinson playing Bruce Wayne in Batman. He did a really good job.
He gets a lot of shit for Twilight, deservedly so, because that's a fucking pile of turd. But I've seen him in many more movies than the Twilight. The Twilight movies are basically like, oh yeah, this person did Twilight, ha ha ha. But seriously, what movies have they done? Robert Pattinson is a decent actor, and I've seen him in a bunch of things.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah,
I will say it's funny that it is funny when like movies come along that are so bad that you don't even hold it against the actors who are in it anymore. It's like,
right.
Yeah, there's nothing that.
Yeah, this is Parker's old story about Hayden Christensen, where it's just like, yeah, it's not his fault. It isn't Hayden Christensen's fault that George Lucas can't write dialogue, or that.
But it's not just that. It's just that, like, George Lucas was literally there telling him, no, I want you to say it like you're an autistic retard with no emotions or ability to communicate like a human being. Like, he was directed in those scenes. It's not like Hayden Christensen's incapable of delivering a line. It's that what we saw in those movies, that was intended by the people who were directing the movie. Don't blame Hayden Christensen for that.
Yeah, George Lucas has been notoriously described as not an actor's director. And there's a lot of behind-the-scenes footage of him. It's not only line delivery. George directs his actors on movement, where, there's blocking, obviously, before scenes go off. And so George would run the blocking with them and just be like, turn when you say this. And Jesus Christ, there is a film clip of him saying... actors he basically equates them to animals. He's just like, actors are, they're the tools that you are using as a director, and you tell them what you want and they go and do it, and then you tell them again what you want and you do it again and again and again, and eventually they get it how you want it. And that fucking blows my mind. It's a complete lack of trust in your actors. But yeah, no, so long story short, Robert Pattinson, not a bad actor. Hayden Christensen, not a bad actor. Natalie Portman,
I'm actually really excited that Hayden Christensen's coming back for the Obi-Wan.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that series, honestly.
Like, I for one am fully willing to welcome him back to Star Wars.
Dude. I mean, he got it hard enough after the prequels came out, and now... like, Star Wars is fucking cursed. You do anything about Mandalorian is the odd exception to the Star Wars franchise. It's the only series that doesn't get a whole lot of shit heaped on it. But yeah, any movie that Disney puts out for Star Wars, most of the TV series that's put out for Star Wars. They get universally shit on, whether or not they deserve it.
Well, it's funny though, because the only reason Mandalorian is so loved is because it's pure fan service.
A lot of it is. Yeah.
It's a TV show set in and Book of Boba Fett was even
Book of
worse.
Boba Fett was fan service.
These are TV shows. These are TV shows set in the Star Wars universe. Would you say that they're Star Wars? I don't know.
Well, no, that's actually kind of why I like Mandalorian. Is because it's breaking. Star Wars doesn't have a lot going for it. Look at the movies. They're basically doing the same thing over and over again. At least George's prequels tried to tell a different story. But basically, the story of Star Wars is that the bad guys build a super weapon, the good guys have to destroy the super weapon. Also, there's the Force and some lightsabers in there. That's pretty much episodes 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9. Not to mention Rogue One or whatever the fuck it was, or Solo, the Solo movie. Solo movie wasn't terrible, but whatever. Anyway, good luck, Hayden Christensen. I hope. I hope that you don't bear the brunt of whoever's complaining about Star Wars these days. It's not me. I gave up a while ago.
I think by and large the community, like the fandom, has forgiven him.
I hope so. I haven't been paying attention.
And from what I've seen of the memes, at least, people genuinely seem to be excited that he's coming back for the Obi-Wan stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
The power of member berries. All right. Well, yeah, there you go. We started on the moon, and we are still on the moon. I'll wrap this up. It was a very zen game. At this point.
yeah, I mentioned earlier, like the pace really slows down, and it gets into this cool meditative space. I mean, I'm driving across a moon in real time, so yeah, just to give you a sense of scale.
Damn.
The moon.
Like, I started over here, where you can see these two waypoints, and then I drove up. That's in a crater basin, and I had to find a place to drive up, and I'm coming around. Yeah, I've been driving for well over an hour. And it's kind of nice. It'll be another 4 days until the next thing on my alarm clock that I actually need to address. So I kind of built in like a lot of time here to cleared off all my other active tasks, resolved a bunch of things before coming out here to do some science.
And science you shall do. All right, so yeah, thank you everybody for joining us at Church of Chonkwij Podcast. Thanks, Kirby. Bye, Kirby. And yeah, we'll see you.
Bye, Kirby.
Kirby.
See you back here. Same time, same spot. Next week. Penis, and fuck Putin.
Fuck Putin.
Fuck him.
Fuck her right in the pussy.